Hello everyone, welcome to a quick map guide for Krakoa Hellfire Gala, the newest Domination map added to Marvel Rivals alongside the new character Emma Frost. There are 2 exits from your base and essentially 3 lanes that you can take to get to the point. There's a left lane, a center lane, and a right lane. There's so much space off to the right side that I don't recommend really ever going over there. Left lane and center lane are going to be your best bets. There is also a health pack sort of out right in front of the doors, and I think that is a design effort by the devs to prevent spawn camping a little bit. As you move into this next chamber, there is a portal right there that will open up over time. It takes like 60 to 90 seconds. I'm not exactly sure how much time, but if a team captures the point and gets it to around 40% as fast as they can, that's about the time that this will open up. You'll actually see progress on this as it starts to open up, so you can sit and wait for it, or you can just run past it to the point itself. If you take this center lane with a flying character like Iron Man or Storm, you can actually see all the way to the point through this little gap, and that's something I recommend doing. Obviously from here you can take the high ground off to the right. There's another health pack over here if you need it for a retreat. If you go to the far right side, there is actually a drop down and a spike pit that you can actually be eliminated if you fall down in there. That portal that you see there is actually the exit from the portal that we saw over here. So if you walk through this portal, you will be spit out right there, which is right next to the point itself. Let's get a nice aerial view of the point. I'm going to go back to that center lane that we showed where you could see all the way down in there. Here is where it really opens up. Obviously you can see a lot of open air. There is a doodad in the center of the point itself that you can take cover from. These columns can be broken but not fully destroyed, so they also provide cover, and that thing right there, this backstop, also provides cover. Once you get to the point though, there's 2 interesting features of this map, and the devs want you to start thinking with portals, okay? There's a portal above the map that flying characters can fly up into if they really wanted to, but it drops you down below the point. You can see that path down there, but there's actually a bug with the spectator camera right now that won't allow me to go down there. I can't go any lower than this, so we'll have to hop on a different character to show you that. But there is a portal at the top of the map that takes you just below the point. If you're a low mobility character, you could walk down there and then drop directly onto the point. So I'm very curious to see which characters are going to benefit the most from that teleport. To use the teleport, you just go up next to it and hit the G key by default. These blue portals have a unique feature where they will turn gray for about 2 seconds after someone uses it. So it's very hard to actually chase someone through a portal. If you actually manage to escape through a portal, you have a couple of seconds to escape before someone else can go in there. That's not the only portal near the point though. There is actually one more here. This one will actually also power up over time. And the exit for that portal is actually up on the high ground back here. And so again, it's going to be a portal that you can use with low mobility characters. Someone like Emma Frost actually doesn't have a leap or flying or anything like that. She could actually walk safely to this portal and teleport and be directly next to the point without being super vulnerable, walking through these many paths, being, you know, totally subjected to fire from the enemy team. So that is basically it for the Cradle. This is just one of the 3 domination stages, and of course it is symmetrical. So we'll show you the underneath of the map here before we go to the next stage, but let's check out the other 2 stages as well. So this is the area underneath the point that the spectator camera was bugged and could not show. There is a health pack down here, and again this portal will spit you out right over the top of the point. It will go gray for just a couple of seconds so no one can follow you through. And then it goes blue again, you can teleport right back through, and again it goes gray. No one can use it until it is available again. This stage of Krakoa Hellfire Gala is called The Grove, and there are 2 exits from the base. Again, you've got a lot of health packs that you can actually see pretty close to the door. Again, I think this is a design choice to try to prevent spawn camping. There are statues of the Quiet Council around the map, like Storm and Magneto and Emma Frost on the other side, and Charles Xavier, which we'll see. There are a lot of winding paths to get to the point itself, but again, it pretty much breaks down into a few different lanes. There's a left side, a center lane, and then the far right. The far right, again, there's just so much room out here that they could add a whole nother control point, and I just wouldn't even bat an eye. It's just a huge map, which I love having so much design detail. It's just interesting how little use it's going to get because the terrain of the map lends itself toward actually reaching this part of the map, which is, of course, the capture point. This is where the Quiet Council sits, and that is Krakoa himself, the living island. There is another portal here that you can notice right away. It will activate over time and pop you out on this side, which is where the statue of Charles Xavier is. This waterfall you can actually walk through and shoot through and have no visibility here from the point to that high ground unless you destroy these two columns. And remember that any time in the game you can hit the B key and see any destructible environments that you're able to take out. So if you destroy this column and this column, the waterfall itself will actually recede to back here and just fall farther back, and the visibility barrier will be gone. Instead, the water will fall somewhere around right here. And there is a jump pad, there's low ground, there's a couple of cave networks, again, for characters with all sorts of mobility. There are a lot of nice details. I really like this map just from a flavor perspective. Health packs are rather important, of course, as you're attacking. There is one sort of just above the point and behind it on this high ground. I do expect a lot of ranged characters, you know, Hawkeye, for example, Squirrel Girl, taking great advantage of this ledge because there is a lot of cover. There are ways to escape to the left and the right and to the low ground, so lots of ways to run away. You can use that portal again to pop out directly onto the point if you're a low mobility character and you want to be less susceptible to attacks. You take that portal and bam, you're basically right on the point. So good for tanks to use in that case. Maybe supports will follow them through. A lot of this is destructible as well, but will not really affect the gameplay of the map, so just blow up whatever you feel like. Again, there is another health pack to the top and back of either side, so ranged characters really will benefit here from taking pot shots from the left or the right. On the low ground, there's one just behind this wall, which is similar to the Domination on Yggdrasil, just having one right near the point on either side. That's about it for this map. I think the most interesting thing, of course, is that destructible waterfall and the vision that it obscures. So this portal may or may not come in handy for low mobility characters, but that's about it for this point. This stage of Hellfire Gala Krakoa Domination map is the Carousel, and everyone starts by walking through that portal, which takes them all the way down there. Once you pop out of that portal, you've again got a left, center, and right lane exit that you can take. If we leave through the center, you can see there is kind of a health pack just sitting there. Also from the right side, there's one sort of open air. The right side is actually really fast to get to the point. I just wanted to point out that there are 4 health packs in view from this one spot. So that's an interesting design decision. One to the far left, 2 sort of in the center low ground, and 1 to the right side. There's a bunch of room to the right, but importantly, you can actually see the point very early from that right side path, and that is one of the closer paths to the point that doesn't have much cover, so flying characters can really make use of it. Other characters that are slower or walking will probably take these hallways just so they can be covered on the way to the point. Then you've got this sort of high ground lip that you can look down over the point itself. There is Jubilee's Child. Don't ask, look it up. There is actually a bunch of space down here where you can be eliminated off the map. This portal will power up over time as well, but it actually takes you far away from the point all the way back to this high ground middle area back here. So I recommend taking this as an entry portal so that you actually exit closer to the point itself. You may need to escape by using this and grabbing that health pack, but it's kind of an interesting distance away. There are another set of portals that each team has back from their spawn. We'll fly back over there so you can see easily. The center path, if you respawn here and this portal has opened up, it will actually take you not directly to the point, but actually sort of up and to the right to one of these areas up here. Let's see if I can find it quickly. It is a long distance, and it does put you over the point itself. So you can actually hop out here with a ranged character like Hawkeye or Squirrel Girl and have a nice vantage point over the actual capture point. And all this open area, lots of open sight lines toward that center side of the enemy team. So again, the devs want you to think with portals. They really want to see how creative players can be with them. These portals do not open up until the map is already, 40 or 50% captured generally, so they're not going to be used to immediately storm the point, but do keep them in mind as you respawn as an alternative route to get back to the action faster. It's kind of a cool addition. So that is basically it for the Hellfire Gala in Krakoa. You can see a bunch of fireworks going off throughout the match as well on that side. It is a very interesting map. I really do love the flavor. I'm a big X-Men fan myself. If you found this map guide helpful, please do check out the playlist with all of the other maps, and I'll get to the rest of them as soon as I am able. Enjoy Marvel Rivals, and subscribe, like, and comment if you appreciated the guide. Catch you next time.